So good evening, everyone. Let us start.
Yes, start, ma'am.
Yeah. So yesterday we have understood about, day before yesterday about Montessori, right? What is the Montessori method? Okay. Now and we understood about the contents. Now today we'll be seeing the sensitive periods. Sensitive periods and just sharing. Let me know whether the screen is visible to you. Yes, is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, visible.
Yeah. Okay. So here from birth to 3 years, see, as I told you, children will be coming after 3 years in the school. So from birth to 3 years, the mind of the child is an absorbent mind. The child is going to absorb whatever the child is seeing in the environment, right? See, a child who is 2 years old always sees around his or her own self and then just gets attracts towards the bright colors and beautiful toys, right? Why? Because their mind is absorbing whatever is there in the environment. Okay, what type of language we are using? See, we are learning a new language. We learn a new language within 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. But a child learns the mother tongue without teaching the grammatical perspective, without teaching the formulas, without teaching and everything, the child learns everything the mother tongue, isn't it? How is it possible? This is possible because the child is having an absorbent mind. The child absorbs whatever the parents and whatever the environment is giving to the child. So from birth to 3 years, the child is having an absorbent mind with sensorial experiences. See, I'll give you a very good example. When a child is born, the child cries a lot, but as soon as the child goes on the lap of a mother, the child stops crying. What is that? That is nothing but a sensorial experience. The child get the senses of the mother that yes, now I am in the safe hands, right? Because till 9 months, the baby was in the safe area in the mother's womb. The child gets the proper senses from the mother. So that is the sensorial experience which the child is getting, right? So from birth to 3 years, 2-year-old child, 3-year-old child, you must have seen 2.5-year-old child, when somebody does anything to the mother, like if hugging the mother or just getting in front of the mother, the child always feels insecure that somebody is going to take my mother somewhere. And the child always removes the other person from the mother. No, she is my mother, don't touch her, isn't it? That is what that insecurity feeling the child is having. The child feels that my sensorial experience is going to get away from me, right? So from birth to 3 years, the child is having that absorbent mind. And when we are used to something, for like as you have joined this course, now you are used to 6:30, right? Where as soon as it's 6:30, you are now used to sit in some or the other places to take the classes. You are sitting with a notebook and writing notes and everything. Why? Because within 2-3 days, you are making your mind prepared to, yes, now I'm going to take some classes, I'm going to prepare notes, I'm going to gain some knowledge. So you within 3 to 4 days, if you are used to, so the child is used to the absorbent mind for 3 consecutive years. And if this is so, it is going to become a habit in the ahead of years. This habitual habitat we have to make use in the Montessori system. The Montessori system says that when we give a prepared environment in the classroom, the child is becoming independent and the mind becomes absorbent. Whatever is there in the environment, the child absorbs. How we have to give them the environment? We have to give them whatever activity they are doing. They are just coming inside the classroom and then they are seeing that all the plates, like what video today Triveni sent, that the child is actually pouring one material to the another material with the help of a spoon into the bowl. If all these materials are already kept on the table when the child enters into the classroom, the child absorbs this thing that yes, the child goes to the place and they start doing the activity. The child is absorbing that environment and uses their senses. And then the child touches that, the child feels that, and try to do that activity and starts thinking on his or her own self, right? So in Montessori, we have to give them the environment in such a way that the child understands that yes, I have to do something wherever I am looking around my environment, right? After, see, this birth to 3 years absorbent mind is there till, see here, you can see the language development from 1.5 years to 3 years, the coordination and the muscle development from 1.5 years to 4 years. Equivalent to the sensorial experience, the language development also is there. See, whatever language we are talking to the children, those language are getting absorbed from the child. Okay, and the child says the same. Like how people in South India, they say amma to the mother, right? When we talk about in our Western area, they say mama or they say mom, right? How are they going to grasp all these things? When a child is born in a South area, the child knows that the one who is caring for me, she is my amma, right? When the child who is born in the Western area, she knows that the one who is caring, she is my mom. I have to call her mom. Why? Because we are giving that language to the child, right? The child doesn't know the meaning of amma, the child doesn't know the meaning of mom, but child knows that I have to call this lady mama, amma, or a mom, right? Because we have involved this language into the mind of the child. So from 1.5 years to 3 years is the language or the linguistic development, which is only grasping through the towards the environment. When we go to the school, then only we understand the language, we understand the grammatical aspect of the child. But when a child is too small, the child is not going to ask you now why we are saying this type of language, isn't it? Child doesn't say that, right? So that language development, the coordination of the muscle development, we always do a massage to the child so that the muscle development is there, right? So all these things are there at this age. So Dr. Maria Montessori says that these are the sensitive periods and we have to take care for these sensitive periods. Interest towards the small environment, small object, refinement towards the movement. When you teach some movement related activities to the children from 2 to 4 years of the child, it is concerned to them towards the movement. When we play games with the ball with the child from 2 to 4 years of the child is very much excited and child tends to move. Okay, so these type of, the child starts walking, the child starts running, and child starts speaking. So all these things are there. Now here we come about when we talk about psychology, inside child psychology, Erickson's theory of social development is there, that we actually learn in in entity. Nursery teacher training, you have child psychology as a subject. In Montessori, actually it is there, but it is related to the what Montessori is saying. Okay, so we put it everything in the sensorial sensitive periods. Okay, now next we come about the concern with the truth and reality. This is concern with the truth and reality means when we talk to 2 to 4-year-old child, we say to the child that yes, now you are grown up, now you'll go to the school, you're going to eat with your own hands, you're going to do the toilet training with your own self. When we say the child that you are grown up, right? But in a second while, what we are saying, you are too small to do this thing. The child gets confused. Am I grown up? Am I small? So there is a conflict between the truth and the reality. I don't have the keys.
Yes, I have.
So sorry, actually. Yeah. So next, aware of order of sequence in time and space. What is that? Aware of order sequence in time and space means the child understands that what till what time I can do this thing. The child is trying to understand. Like, for example, I can give you here. The child is climbing up the stairs. Okay. If the child is able to climb up the stairs with the help of holding the hand of a mother or somebody. Okay. And the second time, if the child is not able to hold the hand, and then the child is waiting for the mother, that means the time and space spatial intelligence into the mind of the child is not that much uh, developed. So till 2 to 4 years, we have to make the child do these type of activities so that the time and space is developed into the mind of the child. Okay. Next, after 2.5 to 6 years, the sensorial refinement. What is that sensorial refinement? The sensorial refinement talks about the senses should be refined. Refined means it should be adjusted, it should be set up. Okay, they are aware of the senses, right? If something is hot, they are going to touch and then this, no, it's hot. Yes, but they have to develop that if it is hot, but it is only hot, it is not going to harm me. This is sensorial refinement. Okay, that refinement means it gives the knowledge that this type of, yeah, so sorry, actually there was a disconnection. Yeah, so here we develop the senses into the mind of the child. Next, now the child comes to the school, susceptibility to adult influence. Now the child is under the supervision. The child is susceptible towards someone. So in Montessori, what do we tell? Initially, we are there only to take care and to direct the child. We are not just giving them the instructions and we are not just telling them, make a standing line, make a sleeping line like this. No, we are giving them the environment in such a way that the child is getting influenced under the adult supervision, right? Till 3 to 6 years, that means from preschooling, schooling towards the lower or upper KG, from nursery, LKG, and UKG. These are the three classes from 3 to 6 years, right? So here in these ages, the child is coming under the influence of the adult. Okay, so here the child was under the influence of parents till now. They were having lots of love, they are having lots of affection towards them. But here, love and affection is also there, but the direction and guide is also there. Okay, so in Montessori, the child is understanding that what is the susceptibility towards the adult influence, what does the adult wants me to do. So after 3.5 to 4 years, the child has a sense towards writing. Then 4.5 years, a tactile sense. What is tactile sense? Tactile sense means the sense towards writing on their own self. Okay, that is tactile sense. Okay, and for reading, if the child understands, the child and identifies and recognizes the letters and the numbers, the child is able to read. So these are the type of senses which the child is developing into the mind of the self. So this, when I explained you about this, it's everything is possible only when we give them the prepared environment. You can see here, when we give them the prepared environment, this prepared environment helps the child to develop physical, mental, and spiritual growth into the mind of the child. Okay, this is the foremost important thing, because this prepared environment is from the before the birth of the child. The God, the Almighty, the spiritual development has given a prepared environment under the womb of the mother, right? That environment is already prepared earlier. Then the fetus is fit into the womb of the mother. The child, when the Dr. Maria Montessori says, when the God Almighty is giving a prepared environment to the offspring, then why we cannot become a directress or a director and give a prepared environment to the child to learn? Who is there inside the womb of the mother? Is the God Almighty there? Is the mother going inside the womb of the mother? No. There is a prepared and natural prepared environment, and the child is developing on his or own self. The environment is prepared on their own with the nutrition the mother is getting. So if the God Almighty has made this system, why can't we give the same system to the child into the classroom? Before the child enters into the class, can't we give them the child a prepared environment to make him develop on his or her own self. This is the basic funda behind the Montessori education. When the God himself is giving a prepared environment and the child is developing on his or her own self, then why we are holding the hand of the child and making the child writing the letter A, B, C? No, God is never holding our hand. God is never stretching the fetus and then growing up. Only the prepared environment and the nutrition given by the mother, the intake of nutrition what the mother takes, the child develops, the offspring develops into the womb of the mother. And when the baby is delivered, that time also, nobody is there. Earlier, nowadays, cesarean and many different things are there for help. But earlier it wasn't there, right? The baby used to take a birth normally. The mother used to, because the environment is created already. The child used to give so much pressure that the mother had to push out, that I cannot bear this pain. The environment is totally prepared in such a way that that thing is going to happen naturally. And the child comes out on his own. Is there somebody who's helping? No, nobody is there. But only the environment is there which is going to help. So the same funda we have to give them, because when the child is born, the child is used to prepared environment. Only in Montessori, the thing is that we have to keep that habit intact. And when the child becomes independent, the child is going to do everything on his or her own self, isn't it? So this is the main idea behind the prepared environment. So this was about Dr. Maria Montessori, whatever I told you. Tomorrow we'll be seeing about the sensorial development and the prepared environment. These all things I have explained you in short. Okay, so this till here it is done. It is the whole story. Tomorrow we'll be seeing the importance of early years. Okay, so tomorrow, no, tomorrow is Friday. Yes, tomorrow is Friday. So any doubt in today's topic? Any questions?
Ma'am, we'll just go through the all of it, ma'am, and we'll ask the doubts, ma'am, regarding to that.
I'm not getting your voice.
So I'll just go through it, and if I have any doubts, I will
Yeah.
ask you, ma'am.
Sure. Please go through it, and if you have any doubt, you can ask.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, have you all taken the screenshot of the notes?
Ma'am, can you post it again, ma'am? I have joined it late.
Yeah. So
I haven't
I'll send
taken
you
screenshot.
the whole recording. Don't worry.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the link of that book you told you'll be sending me.
Okay. I will send it in the group.
Okay.
Yesterday.
You want the link for ebook or hard copy?
Hard copy, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. I will send you that link.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Excuse
Fine.
me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, how many theory papers